Hi guys and welcome back to the Mighty Blues. My name is of course Cameron and welcome back today to another live stream. It is the live game review to Everton's 4-1 victory last night against West Ham United at Goodison Park in the fourth round of the Carabao Cup. Everton sailing into the quarter-finals with a fantastic win at Goodison Park. Dominic Calvert-Lewin getting another hat-trick and what a result that was for Everton. You know, obviously coming up against Premier League opposition, we knew it was going to be a lot more difficult than the previous games we've played in the competition, and we knew that Carlo Ancelotti, would go with a stronger side than one that we've seen previously in the Carabao Cup, and he did. You know, you had Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison in there, James Rodriguez starting his first Carabao Cup game, Alan was in there as well. He still had the likes of Niels Nkunku, Jonjo Kenny, Fabian Delph, Gylfi Sigurdsson in there, but it was a very, very strong side, and Everton went out and massively impressed yesterday. Look, there was a few spells in the game, 10 or 15 minutes here and there, where West Ham sort of felt their way into the game a little bit and started to create opportunities. Obviously, they scored their goal just after half-time, but other than that, we were quite dominant. Possession-wise, we done well on the ball. We were passing it round well. James Rodriguez was absolutely dictating the play in the middle of the park. And ultimately, we've come out with the win and we sail into the quarter-final of the Carabao Cup. We'll find out who we play later on tonight after the game between Liverpool and Arsenal. We are ball number 1 in the draw. So if you are watching the draw, look out for ball number 1. Hopefully, we get a decent home tie. I wouldn't mind the likes of a Newcastle at home. There's still a lot of big teams in there, a lot of tough games. So it's crunch time now, and it's going to get to the business end of the competition. And you know, Everton went up against the Premier League side yesterday, and for me, done fantastically well to get through in such emphatic fashion. So we're going to talk about the game, of course, today. We're going to talk about Dominic Calvert-Lewin. We're going to talk about Richarlison. We're going to talk about Alan as well. Of course, Everton had a couple of injuries in the game last night, which wasn't ideal whatsoever. Alan, Richarlison and Jonjo Kenny all going down injured. Richarlison and Jonjo holding their ankles, and Alan seemingly to have a groin problem. Now, we haven't had an update from Carlo Ancelotti or the club about either player, any player. We do know that Jonjo Kenny left Goodison Park on crutches yesterday. However, that could potentially have just been a precautionary measure. And in regards to Alan and Richarlison, like I said, we haven't had an update other than what Carlo Ancelotti said straight after the game, which, you know, was quite positive, I think, for Evertonians. We always feared the worst when injuries happen, certainly injuries to key players. And I think we all feared the worst when we saw Richarlison go off, of course, you know, holding his ankle, and then we saw Alan follow him shortly after. But Carlo Ancelotti said after the game that Richarlison had a twist on his ankle, and he thinks it is not so bad. Like Alan, we will have to check them tomorrow, meaning today. It seems not so bad for them. I hope they can recover, maybe for Saturday. Richarlison, I think, can recover for Saturday. He also said that he thinks Alan may be it might be difficult for Alan to recover for Saturday, but he does think Richarlison will. Like I said, that was yesterday. I assume all 3 players have had tests today at Finch Farm to determine the length of their injuries and whether or not they'll be able to recover in quick fashion, but we haven't heard anything regarding those tests yet. I don't know whether the club are going to post a statement or an article a little bit later on tonight updating us, or just wait until Carlo Ancelotti's pre-game press conference tomorrow for the game against Brighton at Goodison Park. I dare say they'll probably just wait until Carlo's press conference tomorrow, and then we'll find out at probably about 25-2 whether, you know, Richarlison, Alan and Jonjo Kenny are fit for that game. And obviously it is a big knock because, you know, Alan played in every Premier League game, been absolutely outstanding so far since he's come into the football club. Richarlison, we know, such a key player for Everton. You know, Jonjo Kenny, okay, you know, he's coming in the Carabao Cup games, obviously not too much of a miss in regards to the other 2 players, but the other 2 are big misses if they miss out on Saturday's game. And you know, it's probably, the international break has probably come at the right time here, because if Alan and Richarlison do miss out on Saturday, then they've got at least, you know, 2 weeks or so to rest up before we play the Merseyside derby after the international break. But of course, we're going to talk about the game, and Everton went out and won in emphatic fashion last night, 4-1 at Goodison Park. Dominic Calvert-Lewin on absolute fire once again. We are live. If you are enjoying, please do hit that like button. It does only take a second. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe as well. Share the live stream, share the video. Let's try and get as many people involved as possible. If you could share it on social media, that would mean a great deal to us. I think I've managed to up the camera quality of my face cam in the middle of the scene there. You can't really tell so much now because the lighting is absolutely ridiculous because the sun is just beaming in for some mad reason. But the later the live stream goes on and the darker the stream goes, you'll probably see the quality change, hopefully anyway. I don't know what I've done. I just pressed the button and it looked well more high quality, high definition than it did prior to that. So let me know, because I'm awful with these type of things. I can't really see them, but if you see a noticeable difference, let me know as well. So we'll dive straight into it, then we will get into the live comments, of course, as we always do, but we will dive straight into it. Of course, Everton starting the game really, really well. You know, again, we all knew it was going to be difficult. We all knew West Ham were a side that could, you know, hit us on the break. Have got some quality players going forward. Obviously beat Wolverhampton Wanderers in the Premier League by 4-0, you know, last week. So we knew that it was going to be a struggle. Managed by Alan Irvine, of course, ex-Everton assistant manager David Moyes there, first team manager, but he was managing them from home, I believe, because he is currently self-isolating after testing positive for COVID. So we hope that David Moyes makes a speedy recovery, and anybody else that's been affected. But, you know, at West Ham, again, we knew that they were going to be a team that were going to come and fight for, fight to stay in the competition. We said in the game preview that this was a competition that a club like West Ham would probably look at it and want to win and want to get as far as possible. A little bit like Everton, really, you know, and that's why Carlo Ancelotti chose the side that he did. He went with a strong side. You had Alan in there for the first time in the competition. You had James Rodriguez in there for the first time in the competition. In fact, it was only Abdoulaye Doucouré out of the new signings that didn't feature or didn't start the game. Sorry, obviously he come off the bench when Alan had to be taken off injured. But it was a really, really strong side by Carlo Ancelotti, and a side that screamed that, you know, we're going out there to win this game of football and we're going out there to win it comfortably, and that's exactly what we done. And obviously if the injuries didn't happen, we'd all be sitting here and there literally wouldn't be any negative connotation to this game. Okay, we conceded the goal, which was a little bit sloppy, which we'll talk about a little bit later on in the live stream, but it was a fantastic result. Like I said, Dominic Calvert-Lewin on absolute fire once again, received his England call up today. Absolutely made up for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Look, I know there's a little bit of a stigma around international call-ups and, you know, Everton players going on international duty and then picking up injuries and ultimately not being able to get back and play for Everton the week after. But, you know, you could see how much that call-up meant to Dominic Calvert-Lewin. You know, he's desperately wanted to play for the England men's senior team, and he deserved it. He's the best striker in the league. In fact, I'd probably go as far as to say he's the best striker in Europe at the moment. 8 goals, 5 games for Dom. Absolutely emphatic once again. And he started off perfectly. Like I said, you know, Everton were sort of in control of the game, in control of possession. We were moving it round well. We were sort of feeling out the game and the pace of it. James Rodriguez was picking up the ball in good areas and moving it about, getting it to Dominic Calvert-Lewin, getting it to Richarlison and creating opportunities. And the first opportunity come from an unbelievable Michael Keane pass. I just want to say Michael Keane, as well as Jordan Pickford, has also been called up to the England squad today. This pass by Michael Keane is absolutely world class. Put it this way, if that pass was played by any other centre-back in world football, people would be constantly replaying it for days and days and weeks and weeks. It is unbelievable. Not only the pass itself, but if you watch the full replay of the goal and the full replay of the chance, you know, obviously the pass by Michael Keane, he actually turns his player inside out. He's face to face with a player and he just back heels it and just turns him completely inside out and then whips this proper Maldini-esque ball over the top. Dominic Calvert-Lewin with an unbelievable first touch, an absolutely fantastic first touch. He's been working with James Rodriguez in training. He's been having a look at James and going, hang on, how do I take a ball down from the air that's coming at me at about 60 mile an hour, and how do I make it stop dead on the floor? It was an unbelievable touch. I haven't watched this. Please read this. Calvert-Lewandowski. Let's get it sending. Calvert-Lewandowski, I think, is the top one. I loved seeing that on Twitter yesterday. But anyway, Calvert-Lewin takes it out the air completely as if it's just a feather, stops it on his left foot, and then it's a cool chip over the goalkeeper with his right foot to put us 1-0 up. And, you know, like I said, the pass by Michael Keane is absolutely exceptional. Everything about the goal is brilliant, and we've seen a lot of Everton goals in recent weeks where, you know, with James Rodriguez coming in and the midfield being massively improved, and, you know, us just improving our team, you know, tenfold. We've seen a lot of really, really good Everton goals, and goals that have come from, you know, brilliant plays of creativity and fantastic passages of play. Richarlison scored one yesterday that come from a fantastic passage of play, but unfortunately was just offside. But this one just came from an absolute world-class ball from our centre-half. Our centre-half who looked up, ball in his own area and thought, you know what, I'm just going to put it on his feet there. Dominic Calvert-Lewin takes a fantastic touch, and he chips it over the goalkeeper, and we're 1-0 up, and you're thinking, right, okay, brilliant. You know, West Ham are putting a little bit of pressure on us. They're trying to get forward, they're trying to create opportunities, but we've been clinical. We've gone out there and we've taken our first opportunity. And when you look at the game and when you look at the stats after the game, there wasn't an awful lot in it. Possession-wise, there wasn't an awful lot in it. They had their fair share of opportunities. We had ours. It was just that we were clinical yesterday. Dominic Calvert-Lewin was absolutely on fire. He was clinical. Everything he touched went in there enough. And that was the difference maker. And this one was a fantastic example of that. An unbelievable touch out the sky by Dominic Calvert-Lewin and a fantastic chipped finish over Darren Randolph. And we're 1-0 up and you're sort of thinking, right, okay, go out there now, get the second before half time. You know, this was, I think, 11 minutes into the game. But we always knew that West Ham were going to try and respond. West Ham were going to make it scrappy. They were going to get at us. They were going to try and bring the fight to us. And ultimately, it was up to them. The ball was in their court then to get back into the game, because Everton had have just played it round, settled out, got another couple and won the game comfortably, which ultimately is what we done. But, you know, it was up to them to put pressure on us. It was up to them to try and get back into the game. And again, like I said, you know, there wasn't too much that happened within that second half after the goal. You know, we created the odd opportunity here and there. Of course, could have had the second goal with Richarlison. Fantastic bit of play by Richarlison, passes it to James Rodriguez. James Rodriguez finds an unbelievable pass, an absolute worldie of a pass through to Richie, and Richie is just millimetres offside. And, you know, again, it's so unfortunate. That's 2 goals that Richarlison has scored in recent weeks that would have been absolutely exquisite if he wasn't offside. Again, the one against Fleetwood, was it, or Salford the week before, where Gylfi Sigurdsson plays or it might have been West Brom actually, where Gylfi Sigurdsson plays a world-clalas ball and Richarlison finishes brilliantly, but he's just centimetres offside. And this one yesterday, James Rodriguez plays a brilliant ball through. You know, a brilliant ball through, and Richarlison gets on the end of it, but he's just offside. He pokes it in, and you know, that was a good chance for us to go 2-0 up. But we were creating the opportunities. We were having the better of the ball. They were sort of holding it up and breaking forward, but we were defending really well as well. You know, I don't think Michael Keane put a foot wrong defensively. I don't think Luca Dean put a foot wrong defensively. Of course, you know, playing centre back in his unnatural position, and both fullbacks, Niles Nkunku, again, we knew it was going to be a test for Niles Nkunku yesterday. We knew that he was going to have to focus a lot more on his defensive duties rather than going forward, and that's what he done. And a lot of people you know, spoke on Niles Nkunku's performance on social media and what have you after the game, and they said he didn't really get forward enough. He's not what we've known from Niles Nkunku in his opening 2 games as an Everton player, but that was because we were up against the Premier League opposition. That was because we were up against an opposition that Carlo Ancelotti has probably took Niles Nkunku to the side before the game and said, look, you're starting this game, it's a massive opportunity, you're playing against the Premier League side, I don't want you just belting it constantly up and down that wing and not doing your defensive duties. If you've got an opportunity to get down the wing, do it, but if you haven't, just sit back and just focus on your defensive duties, because that's what you're there for. You're a left back, you're not a left winger. And Niles Nkunku done it absolutely, you know, he done it fantastically. He was brilliant, he was absolutely brilliant. And, you know, obviously John Joe Kenny at right back as well. I thought John Joe had a really good first half until, of course, he had to be taken off. And you know, like I said, we're continuing to fight, we're continuing to create opportunities, and then the first injury comes. John Joe Kenny goes down, you know, hurt with his ankle, and then ultimately, you know, has to be replaced by Seamus Coleman, and it didn't look great. It didn't look great for John Joe. He fell really awkwardly on it, and the fear was there straight away that he might have broken it or, you know, dislocated it or something. But he got back up on his feet and he walked off the pitch, but it was clear that he wasn't able to continue. He hobbled down the tunnel, and you're sort of thinking, again, just Everton's luck. You know, we've already got 2 injured, you know, centre halves who would have had a massive part to play in the opening 6 games of the season. We've now got an injured right back, and obviously Seamus Coleman has been absolutely fantastic this season, but it's not ideal to rely on Seamus Coleman to play, you know, every Saturday and Wednesday. And I know now we don't play for you know, quite a while in the Carabao Cup, but you know, Seamus having to come on, of course, you know, it would have been nice for Seamus to have, you know, had a little bit of a rest yesterday and stayed watching from the sidelines. But of course, look, John Joe Kenny goes down, Seamus Coleman replaces him, comes on and does a really, really good job for the remainder of the game. But then it goes to half-time. Like I said, Everton are battling, we're getting involved, we're involved in the game, we're truly involved. West Ham are sort of having little pockets of spells here and there, they're adding a little bit of pressure here and there, but not too much. Not too much, and ultimately, we were dealing with it well. It was a good half of football. We'll get into the live comments then before we talk about the second half, which really, really was action-packed for Everton Football Club. Dominic Calvert-Lewin coming alive, Richarlison with the second goal, fantastic play. James Rodriguez proving just what a world-class player he is. If you're not enjoying, by the way, please do hit that like button. It does only take a second. If you are new to the channel as well, don't forget to subscribe. Eugene says Southgate on Calvert-Lewin call up. Yes, he's been talking very, very highly of Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Of course, today Dominic Calvert-Lewin received his first call up to the England men's senior team, and Gareth Southgate has spoke really, really highly of Dom and spoke about how he is massively impressed with him so far. He also talks about the Godfrey bid being rejected. We're going to talk about all of the latest transfer news and all of the latest Everton news tomorrow. Of course, we do the weekly news roundup tomorrow, and we'll be talking about all of it then, so don't forget to join us for that one. Eugene says get your coat on and get down to Goodison Park. Judy says I read they want at least 25 million for Godfrey and we sub into the 20 million plus 6 million add-ons. Can someone explain add-ons? Yeah. Again, there's a lot of rumours at the moment that we've submitted an official bid for Godfrey and that it's been rejected and that it was for 20 million plus add-ons. Add-ons could, vary I think they want a 25 million upfront fee, and those 6 million add-ons may have been spread over 12 months. They may have been for various different clauses, which he might not have hit. For example, 15 Premier League games, which he might not have hit, so they mightn't have got whatever the amount was for that clause. So, it's a difficult one. Like I said, it's a difficult one at the moment. I think Everton will sign him personally. I don't think we're as far as some people think in that, in that transfer saga, but I do think we'll sign the player because I think he's very, very keen to come, and I think Carlo Ancelotti is keen to bring him in. Jason said, isn't add-ons like if you reach Europe, if the player plays for their country, etc.? Yeah, it's stuff like that. As far as I'm aware anyway, like I said, I'm not a football agent, don't work for a football club, so don't quote me, but as far as I'm aware, it's stuff like that. Philip says, hey all, up the toffees, hey mate. Jason says, was watching a Norwich fan channel earlier, the guy described him as a defensive midfielder, but can play at the back. Yeah, he can, he's played at defensive midfield before, he's played CDM before, but he has played a lot of games at centre-back in recent times as well, so almost very similar to Jean-Philippe Gbamin and his role in the club. When he obviously becomes fit, he can play at centre-back, he plays central defensive midfield, so Ben Godfrey is the type of player that Everton should be looking at, and the reason for that not only is because he's a good young player with a lot of potential, but the reason for that is he can play in different positions. Carlo Ancelotti has spoke since coming into Everton and said that he wants a squad of 20 plus 3 players, so 23 players. I think we've currently got something like 35, 36 on the books. And when you have a squad of 23 players, which isn't, the biggest squad in the world, you have to have players in that squad that are versatile. You have to have players that can play in multiple different positions. For example, a James Rodriguez can play on the right, can play through the middle, can play anywhere. For example, a Jean-Philippe Gbamin plays centre-back, plays centre defensive midfield. Ben Godfrey is another player of that calibre who can play in various different positions. And I think that's another big reason as to why Everton are interested in bringing him in. John says, heard Richarlison out for the season. Is there any truth in that? I don't think so. Carlo Ancelotti come out and said that, again, there's nothing solid yet. He still said that there needs to be tests, but after the game he said it was just a twisted ankle for Richarlison, and he hopes that he'd be back by Saturday. If he was out for the rest of the season, I think Carlo would have known at that point that it wasn't just a twisted ankle. But again, like I said, we don't know the extent to any of the injuries at the moment. I dare say Carlo will discuss that in the pre-game press conference to the Brighton game tomorrow. Philip says, I hope not. Eugene says, Alan and Richarlison, John Joe Kenny update. And Philip says, hopefully they're all okay, maybe a couple of weeks. Philip says, yay. Jason says, maybe the international break has come at the right time. Yeah. Listen, if we beat Brighton on Saturday and we go in, 7 wins out of 7, and hopefully, like I said, the injuries to John Joe and Richarlison and Alan aren't serious, then it's come at the perfect time, and it's been a fantastic start to the season for Everton. Eugene says, Everton boss gives update on Blues trio. I'll have to have a look at that. I haven't seen that. And Philip says, I never wanted the international break, but it's a godsend. Yeah, usually we're fuming at the international break. Usually we're sort of sitting here going, oh, we don't want that. That's, we don't want the international break. That's dreadful. But it probably has come at a good time for Everton. It's probably come at the right time for Everton, to be honest with you. It'll give us a nice deserved break. Not a lot of clubs have played Wednesday, Saturday consistently since the start of the season, but we have. Jason says, anybody watching Carabao later? I don't know, mate. And Philip says, keep us informed, Eugene. I'm sure Eugene certainly will. We'll get back into the live comments in just a moment. Anyway, let's get back onto talking about the game. So we go into the half-time. We go into half-time, 1-0 up, and you're sort of thinking, yes, get in, a decent performance so far in the first half. Go out in the second half, get a second goal, kill the game off, kill their confidence off, kill any momentum that they have off. West Ham will have been given a very, very upbeat team talk at half-time. They'd have been given a team talk that would have gone like, you're still in this game, you're creating opportunities, you're getting the ball, go out and just make them pay, do something with those opportunities. And Everton's one of Everton's biggest downfalls so far this season has been not reacting as soon as we come out for the second half. We've already seen a couple of goals Everton have conceded where it's been within the first 2 or 3 minutes of the second half kicking off. And, you put that down to concentration, you put that down to the players not being fully aware of where they need to be and not being in the flow of things because, obviously the half only just started. But for me, we need to do better in that situation. Like I said, we come into the second half and you're feeling confident, you're thinking, right, okay, go out, get the second, get a third, just completely kill the game off and then play for fun. Then if you want to go and get a third and fourth, do it. If you want to just sit down and sort of chill it and not overly express yourself, then do that. But ultimately, it didn't work like that. We come out in the second half, and within, I think it was 23 seconds or 26 seconds, West Ham United get their equaliser. I don't even think we touched the ball in that second half before they equalised. They're playing the ball through, comes to Robert Snodgrass and he curls it in. And look, I've seen a couple of people criticise Jordan Pickford for this goal. I don't think you can criticise Jordan Pickford for this goal, if I'm being perfectly honest. Again, just my opinion. Everybody's opinion is different, and that's completely fine. I think it's quite harsh to criticise Jordan Pickford for this goal. Yes, ideally he's not 6'6", so when he stretches a full stretch, he doesn't get to those corners. But I think realistically, if you're going to put any blame, it's the blame on the defenders and allowing Robert Snodgrass to get on his favoured left foot in a position where he can curl a ball in like that. It was a strange goal, really, because the way in which it curled, it was like, wasn't usually how you'd see a ball hit from that sort of position. But it curls past Jordan Pickford, and it's 1-1, and all of a sudden the momentum has completely switched. West Ham have got all of the momentum. West Ham have got the confidence. West Ham are the team that are looking like, or are feeling like that they're going to go on and sort of make us pay for that. But we saw a similar reaction yesterday to what we saw in the game against West Brom at Goodison Park a couple of weeks ago, and that was Everton conceding very, very early on into the second half, having a knockback, and ultimately the game being made level, when in reality it shouldn't have been level. We should have been winning. And then, whereas in previous seasons, last season, season before, our heads would have just dropped then and we'd have gone on and lost that game because the momentum would have switched to the opposition team and they'd have just gone on and continued to press and continued to create opportunities, and we wouldn't have been able to deal with that. What we saw yesterday was what we saw against West Brom, and that was Everton looking up and thinking, how the fucking hell have we just conceded that goal? Why aren't we awake? Why aren't we aware to every situation? What are you doing? You've been the better team in the first half. Wake up, go out and hit them again. And that's exactly what we done. We conceded and we went straight back up the other end instantly, and we were just peppering their goal constantly until obviously, Richarlison has an opportunity where he hits the post, very, very unlucky. And then it doesn't take long, 5 or 10 minutes later, Richarlison finds himself with some space down that left-hand side, cuts inside. Fantastic play, to be fair. Look, the shot obviously takes a massive, massive deflection. But it's fantastic play by Richarlison to get in that position in the first place. Sorry. Bit of a sore throat. That's what happens when you do the scenes. It's not corona. Rest assured, it's not corona. But like I said, Richarlison gets in that position fantastically well. I think it's Yarmolenko who completely sells the team of going down that left-hand side, cuts into the middle, finds himself in a great position, strikes it, it comes off the back of the defender and it goes in. And ultimately, look, it is a massive deflection and it is going on target prior to the deflection. Whether it goes in or not is a completely different question, but it's a question that I don't really care about, because ultimately it hits the back of the West Ham defender, it goes in, and we're 2-1 up. And you're thinking, brilliant, we're back in control of the game now. Go out and kill it off. Go out and get the third. Go out and get the fourth. Don't let them get back into it. Don't do what we've done against West Brom, coincidentally, and let them get back into it cheaply with another soft goal. Go out there and console like you did in the first half and like you have for the majority of the game. And that's exactly what we've done. Like I said, you know, we bounced back so well from that goal conceded. And there was periods in the game, 5, 10, 15-minute period, you know, here and there, where West Ham looked the more comfortable on the ball. He looked the more composed. He looked the more likely to score. And I think Everton's injuries sort of played a part of that, because our, you know, the squad and the team on the pitch was obviously changed, you know, 3 times during the game, forced change through injuries, which, you know, just sort of knocked the momentum a little bit. But Everton done so well after we conceded to just get back, pick the ball up and go, no, you know what, we're winning this game. You know, we shouldn't have conceded. It was a stupid goal to concede. We're getting back out and we're winning this game comfortably. And we've done, obviously, like I said, we scored the second goal. It's a fantastic goal and we continue to put pressure on. They have a couple of opportunities. Sebastian Haller has one just after Everton scored the second, where it's an acrobatic chance in the box and Jordan Pickford makes a good save. And we're continuing to press. We're continuing to put pressure on West Ham. And then obviously Alex Iwobi gets an opportunity. He finds himself with a millimetre of space. And to be fair to Alex Iwobi, again, another player that's got a lot of stick in, you know, since he's joined Everton Football Club. But to be fair to Alex Iwobi, he has the smallest margin of space whatsoever. He gets a shot away, it bounces off the post, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin scores a goal that Dominic Calvert-Lewin doesn't score 18 months ago. Dominic Calvert-Lewin doesn't score 2 years ago. A goal that Evertonians have been screaming at Dominic Calvert-Lewin to score more of since he joined the football club. We always knew he was good in the air. We always knew he was good with the ball. We always knew he had a good touch. But we were screaming for him to get in those positions where if a ball bounces off the post, if it bounces off somebody's arse, if it hits somebody on the back of the head, he is there to finish it. And Dominic Calvert-Lewin follows the run in. I think Richarlison followed it in as well. No, not Richarlison, he'd gone off at that point. But Dominic Calvert-Lewin follows it in fantastically. It hits the post. He bags on the fact that it's going to hit the post, follows it in and puts it in the back of the net, and it's 3-1. And all of a sudden, you have that ooze of, you know, of a breath of sigh of relief come over you. Then, you know, you're 3-1 up, you're at home, you're very unlikely to throw it away at this point. Dominic Calvert-Lewin's got a second of the game, and you know that only one thing was running through Dominic Calvert-Lewin's mind there, and that was, I want the hat-trick, I want another one, I want to go and get the match ball once again, I want to score 2 consecutive hat-tricks at Goodison Park for the first time in a long, long time. And, you know, it was calm at that point. I think West Ham had sort of given up most hope. They still tried to get down the other end. They still tried to create. But Everton were just completely in control of the game. And like I said before, we were through the injuries. John Joe Kenny going down in the first half. Obviously, Richarlison going down not long after he'd scored our second goal. Looked quite awkward for Richarlison. He went down on his ankle. Again, they always look really, really bad on the television, and I don't want to sit here and speculate on how bad it is because we don't know the severity of the situation yet. And I dare say we won't know the severity of the situation until Carlo Ancelotti's pre-game press conference tomorrow. But Richarlison goes down, and like I said, it looks quite sore. It looks a sore one. And ultimately, he goes off, he stands up, he runs back onto the pitch, and he falls back over straight away. And you know his afternoon's over at that point. You know that he's not going to be in the game. You know that he's not going to be able to continue. And it's a massive, massive worry. And that was always going to be the worry for this game. And you know, even the Salford game, the game against Fleetwood, whenever we've spoke about these games and we've done the predicted start 11s and we've spoke about the team that Carlo Ancelotti could potentially go for, the topic of conversation has always been, well, you know, don't play James Rodriguez, don't play Richarlison, don't play Calvert-Lewin because they could potentially get injured and we can't afford that. And the reality of the situation is we cannot afford Richarlison to get injured. We cannot afford Richarlison to be out for 2, 3, 4 weeks, 2 months, 3 months. We can't afford that. He's one of our key players. He's a player that creates so much for the team. He's a player that gets involved with the goals. His work rate is massively missed when he's not there. We cannot afford for the likes of Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison, Alan, James Rodriguez to be picking up injuries. But I don't put any blame on Carlo Ancelotti for the side that he picked because he needed to pick a strong side. We were coming up against a Premier League opposition. Could Bernard and Sigurdsson and Delphin Iwobi have potentially done a job in that midfield 4? Probably yes. Would it have been as comfortable as that was yesterday? No, because James Rodriguez, Alan, Richarlison absolutely, consoled the game. Dominic Calvert-Lewin got a hat-trick, so it wouldn't have been that easy. And Carlo Ancelotti respected the opponent and respected the competition, and went out to win that game of football, and we won that game of football quite comfortably. And the worry was always going to be that one of those players, whether it be Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin, James Rodriguez, Alan, were going to pick up some form of injury, and that could happen in any game. Let's have it right. That could happen in absolutely any game whatsoever. Dominic Calvert-Lewin could go out on Saturday and pick up an injury. Richarlison could have picked up an injury against Crystal Palace. James Rodriguez could have picked up an injury on the opening day against Spurs. It could happen in any game, so it's not because they played yesterday, it's just because it's unfortunate, and that's what it is. But Richarlison goes down and it doesn't look great. He goes off and you're sort of thinking, well, with two, I think we were 2-1 up, 3-1 up at this point, but you're sort of thinking, you're just worrying. The back of your mind is just thinking, please be alright, don't be injured, don't let it not be anything serious, even if it's just out for a week or so. Let him be fit for the Merseyside derby in the next couple of weeks. And obviously that is still a thought that I think is going through a lot of Evertonians' minds at the moment. Again, we'll have to wait and see what Carlo Ancelotti says in his pre-game press conference tomorrow. But anyway, we'll go on to talk about the fourth goal in just a moment, as well as Alan's injury, which again added a very similar thought process to a lot of Evertonians' minds about worrying about how how sort of bad that one was. But of course, like I said, we don't know. But we'll get into the live comments. If you are enjoying, please do hit that like button. It does only take a second. If you're not new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe as well. Honestly, the sport means so much to us. It really does. Nearly got 100 people currently watching. If we could get to 100 people, it would mean a great deal. Paul Potch says, since haven't heard anything from the club for Richarlison or Alan, I guess they're fine. We'll hear from Carlo Ancelotti tomorrow. I think the first question he'll be asked in that press conference. To be fair, it's the first question he's asked every press conference, but I think he'll specifically be asked it tomorrow about all three players, John Joe Kenny, Richarlison and Alan, and hopefully it's positive news for Everton Football Club. Philip says, yes, hope they get hammered. John says, we will end up getting Liverpool in the next round. I wouldn't be surprised, mate. I wouldn't be surprised. Philip says, nah, mate, the EFL will want us in the final. I don't think they will. Eugene says, prediction for the Everton game against Brighton, I'm going with 4-0. Well, we're doing the live game preview to the Brighton game tomorrow, 5:15, as per usual. Join us for that one. We'll be going through my predicted starting 11. We'll be talking about my score prediction as well, so don't forget to join us for that one. Reece said it last night, and I'll say it again, DCL is up there with the best in Europe at the moment. Could not agree more, mate. He absolutely is. He has been unbelievable. Whammy says, hey everybody, Cam lad, how's everyone doing? I'm not too bad, mate. Hope you're doing well yourself. Just noticed we've got a donation from the Blue Boys Network. I assume it's Mike, it might be John. He says, hit the likes, pictures and share it on your socials. Let's get Cam to 100 watches. Thank you very much, mate. Really do appreciate that message and the donation, of course. Honestly, it means an absolute massive amount to me. Really do appreciate all of the support, Mike. I'm assuming it's Mike, John. Really appreciate all the support, Mon, because it could be either of you. Honestly, it means so much. So thank you all very much for that donation, and thanks to everybody for getting involved in the live comments as per usual. Support again on today's stream is absolutely exceptional. If you're watching as a YouTube video, you can leave your thoughts and comments in the YouTube comment section, and I will get involved with as many of them as possible. Women says, hey Cam, hey everyone, Cam lad, how's everyone doing? I'm not too bad, mate. James says, the whole team deserves the praise they're getting made up for. Dom, Cam, spot on. Jason says, I will admit, until Ancelotti took over, I thought Calvert-Lewin was more League 2. Calvert-Lewin's Champions League, mate. Never mind League 2, never mind Championship. He's Champions League. Mix them together, he's Champions League. Causes I'm not bothered about England, but I'm happy for DCL. Yeah, again, me too, mate. I'm not too bothered, and you know what? I'm made up with the response that the news that Dominic Calvert-Lewin's being given a call up has got today. Blue Boys Network says, Mike, John doesn't ask from the elbow. There you go. Nice one, Mike. Really appreciate that. Yeah, I'm made up with the reaction to the news that Dominic Calvert-Lewin's got the call up, because my instant fear, I think we all knew deep down that Dom was going to get a call up today. I think we all knew deep down that, Dom was it would have been impossible for Gareth Southgate to not call Dominic Calvert-Lewin up. He's had 8 goals in 5 games. He's been the best striker in the Premier League. But there was a little bit of fear in the back of my mind that people were going to react negatively to it, obviously because the international break isn't massively in favour with Evertonians or football fans fans because, you know, it's notoriously something that Everton players go out to and end up picking up injuries, detrimental injuries. We've seen it numerous times over the years. Seamus Coleman picked up a leg break playing for Ireland. Various key Everton players pick up injuries during international duty. So my fear was that the news was going to get announced and it was going to be tainted by Evertonians saying, oh, no, we don't want him to go, keep him here, keep him fit. But it wasn't. It was a big positive reaction for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. And you know what? Listen, although I think 99.9% of us, including myself, probably sit here and go, I don't really want Dominic Calvert-Lewin to play any more games than he's already doing. He's on fantastic form. I don't want him to risk getting injured. That's just the selfishness in us, because we're Evertonians and we want Calvert-Lewin to be fit and fine in every single week and every single time he puts that blue shirt on. But we have to be selfless in this situation, and we have to look at Dominic Calvert-Lewin and think, you know what, he deserves that England call-up. He deserves it more than anybody. And, you know, ultimately he spoke about how it was his dream to play for the England national side, how he spoke about it with his mum and dad since he was a young boy, how he, you know, he's called his mum and dad since he's had the call up, since he had the text, and they were in tears. So we have to be absolutely made up for Dominic Calvert-Lewin, whether we like it or not. We have to be absolutely made up, and one thing is for certain, and that is Dominic Calvert-Lewin deserves that call up more than absolutely anybody. Where are we? Wimmy says, God, please let Richie and Alan be okay. It will be very good to do all my chores. And Eugene says, proud Calvert-Lewin on realising childhood England dream. Spot on. Andres says, from Colombia, greetings, Toffees. I'm so anxious about the derby. I will pray for the 3 points and hopefully a Hammers goal. I think we all are, mate, and spot on. We're all praying for the 3 points in that game, and certainly a James Rodriguez goal. That will be absolutely exquisite. Philip says, awesome for DCL, just hope he doesn't get a knock. Yeah, I agree. Wimmy says, apparently Moyes was sick, and no Gordon. Any opinions there? Because Gordon got all Billy Big Balls, didn't he? And I'm worried about Moyes, though. We still seem to be tossing over the centre half. I think both were ill. The rumour before the game was that Anthony Gordon missed out due to being sick, and Carlo Ancelotti come out and said that that was the case for Moise Kean as well. Look, I don't know whether Moise Keane's going to have a future at Everton Football Club, if I'm being completely honest with you. Anthony Gordon will. I think he was just, you know, not well. But again, in regards to Moise Keane, we'll just have to wait and see over the next sort of couple of days or so. The transfer window closes within the next few days, so we'll know about Moise Keane very, very soon, I assume. Philip says, looks like you have a mega light bulb, Cam. It's just a normal light bulb, mate. I don't know why it makes me face look like Casper the Friendly Ghost. And Wayne says, what is it with us and centre-backs trying to catch a ghost in a butterfly net? Yeah, look, we've been rumoured with a lot of centre-halves, haven't we? And ultimately, I think, you know, I do think we'll sign a centre-half before the end of the window. Do think it'll be Ben Godfrey from Norwich, potentially. Anyway, back onto the game then. So like I said, we get that third goal. Richarlison's gone down. He picked up an injury, and we all are just thinking, let's just pray to God that he is okay. Let's just pray to God that it's nothing serious, and let's just hope that, you know, he ultimately is fit for Saturday, if not Saturday, at least the Merseyside derby in the next couple of weeks or so. And then Dominic Calvert-Lewin gets the third goal. A fantastic finish, the type of finish that we've been crying out for Dominic Calvert-Lewin to score for a long time. Those opportunities, not necessarily the greatest goals in the world, not necessarily the best finishes in the world, but those opportunities where he's on the end of balls hitting the post, on the end of balls coming off the back of somebody's arse, getting the rebounds. That for me was the most impressive. Okay, the first goal was unbelievable, but that for me is what we want to see Dominic Calvert-Lewin doing, getting in those positions. Of course, it goes to 3-1, absolutely fantastic. You're sort of thinking then, you know, get the game sort of just done and dusted. Their sort of heads dropped a little bit. Their, you know, momentum obviously massively dropped. And Everton just continued to control the game. James Rodriguez playing it nicely around the midfield through to Alan, who was playing really well. Obviously, Seamus Coleman had been on the pitch for quite some time at this point performing. Alex Iwobi had come on and done well. And then Alan goes down now. And you're sort of thinking, this is just our luck. We're 3-1 up in a Carabao Cup 4th round fixture. We're cruising towards the quarter-final. We're playing a Premier League opposition. We're absolutely embarrassing a Premier League opposition. And 3 players have gone down injured, 2 of them being key players. Alan this time goes down holding his groin, and this was a real worry, because you're thinking, you know, a groin injury, again, don't want to speculate, don't want to sit here and say it could be this, it could be that, because ultimately we don't know at the moment. But a groin injury is never a nice one. It's never one that you look at and you think, oh, you know, just walk it off. Don't get me wrong, he may just walk it off and he may be fine for Saturday, but it didn't look great whatsoever. Alan goes down holding his groin. I think he tries to make a challenge and ends up just being a little bit short, and I don't know what he does, but he was very clearly in some discomfort. Stands up again, he walks off himself, so it wasn't awfully bad, but, you know, comes off and Abdoulaye Doucouré comes on. And at this point, you're thinking, it's not bittersweet because we're winning and we're absolutely made up we're winning, and ultimately injuries are injuries. They happen. You can't do anything about them. You can't avoid them. If they're going to happen, they're going to happen. But you sort of are sitting there thinking, I just can't get Richarlison and Allan out of my mind. I just hope that they can return to fitness very, very soon. But Allan goes down injured, like I said, there's that worry. He goes off, Abdoulaye Doucouré comes on, done well when he come on, to be fair. Couple of misplaced passes, but other than that, he done really, really well to just control the ball and play the ball around in the centre of midfield. And then Dominic Calvert-Lewin goes and gets the 4th goal of the game and his hat-trick, making it 8 goals in 5 games for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Mike has donated another £2 to the live stream. Big thanks to Mike. Really, really do appreciate that. Honestly, mate, it means a massive amount. He says, watch along comments, read them. I will read them. I'll get through all of the comments in just a moment. We will get through them. We will read the ones about the watch along. I am aware of them. Big thanks again for that donation. Really, really do appreciate it. It means a massive amount to me. Honestly, it does. But like I said, you know, Dominic Calvert-Lewin gets the 4th goal of the game and his hat-trick. A fantastic bit of play. James Rodriguez gets himself out of another sticky situation. This lad could get himself out of. This guy could be locked in a room with, you know, 100 people wanting them to stay in the room, and he'd get out without any of them even noticing. He just gets out of tight situations constantly, and again, he's got the ball, plays a really, really nice through to Gylfi Sigurdsson, and Gylfi Sigurdsson plays it through brilliantly to Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and he finishes sublimely, and it's a hat-trick for Dom. 8 goals in 5 games for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I want to give a big shout out to Gylfi Sigurdsson in this situation, because I thought he had a fantastic game yesterday. I thought he played really, really well, and he was brilliant. The assist was fantastic. He puts it on a plate for Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin finishes coolly, and it was a fantastic goal. And it's 4-1, and Dom's got his hat-trick, and, you know, it's game, set and match at that point. Like you said, you know, the final whistle goes not long after. We've won the game, we've cruised into the quarter-final of the Carabao Cup. We now don't play in the Carabao Cup till December, so the players have got a little bit of a rest in between Premier League games, but, you know, you're sort of thinking, yeah, you know, let's just hope that, you know, Allan and James and John Joe Kenny as well are all fit and okay, and it's, you know, they're not too detrimental. Another £2 from Mike. Really, really do appreciate that, mate. Honestly, he says 100. Boom. Yeah, we just had 100 people watching, 98 at the moment, but I'm sure it will rise back up. Big thanks to everybody. Honestly, listen, if you're enjoying the live stream, please do hit that like button. It does only take a second, and if you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. 100 people watching is absolutely unbelievable. Honestly, it means so much to me. It really, really does. And yet, like I said, Everton win the game 4-1. A quite comfortable win, a convincing win, and a fantastic win for Everton Football Club, cruising into the quarter-final of the Carabao Cup in fashion. Like I said, we are ball number 1 in the draw today. So we'll find out who we play after tonight's Carabao Cup fixtures. Again, there's a lot of people that are hoping for them lot. If they manage to beat Arsenal, there's a lot of people hoping for the likes of Newcastle at home. I think it'd be a good game for Everton. But it's a fantastic result again. Carlo Ancelotti's Blues making it 6 wins out of 6. 3 in the Carabao Cup, 3 in the Premier League. Another 4 goals for Everton Football Club. Another 3 for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Absolutely brilliant performance and absolutely brilliant result. And like I said, you know, other than the injuries, I think we have to look at this game and we have to be made up and we have to be utterly ecstatic about the performance and about the result. I thought Niels Nkunku, like I mentioned earlier on the live stream at left back, put in a really, really good performance. Not what we had have expected, not what we've seen before from Nkunku, but it was a performance which demanded defensive, it demanded his defensive capabilities. And one thing that I've expressed on these live streams before, I'm sure if you've watched the streams before, you'll know one thing I've expressed is being a little bit wary of whether Niels Nkunku would be able to step up in the Premier League defensive-wise. We all know that he'll rip 20 teams to bits in the Premier League this season going forward. He's absolutely fantastic. He's so strong, he's big, he's quick, he beats people easily, he's got a fantastic delivery on him, he's very, very clever, he's very, very skillful. The one not worry, but one thing that we didn't know because it hadn't been proven or hadn't been tested yet was whether he'd be able to keep up defensively and whether he'd be able to stand up against Premier League sides and do the defensive work. And he proved that he could do that yesterday. It was a fantastic performance by him, fantastic performance by Seamus Coleman when he was brought on as well, and he was asked to do that job, which I dare say Seamus Coleman would have started that night not thinking he was going to be called upon, but he was, and he done a fantastic job. James Rodriguez, absolutely unbelievable again. Can we just take a second to appreciate how good of a footballer James Rodriguez is? You know, I know he said was, then is. Look, we knew that when we signed James Rodriguez that he's one of the best footballers in the world, but this lad just makes it look so easy. He just makes it look simple. He makes Carlo Ancelotti come out after the game against West Brom, I think it was, and said, you know, James Rodriguez, he just makes football look easy. And I thought, yeah, he does. He makes it look simple. And every time I watch him, my head's just mind blown. I watch the lad and I think, you are a level above anybody that I've seen at Everton Football Club for a long time, creative-wise and ability-wise. He is fantastic. He is absolutely unbelievable. And again, he showed yesterday, he wasn't massively involved in terms of goals and assists yesterday, but in every goal we scored near enough, he was there. He was a key component. He played a very good pass. I think he's created something like 16 goals so far this season in the games he's played, which is more than any other player in the Premier League, which just shows what an impact he's had and just shows what a fantastic footballer he is. So Everton cruise into the quarter-final of the Carabao Cup. A fantastic win, a fantastic victory. Like I said, hopefully the injuries aren't too bad. We'll have an update on those tomorrow as soon as Carlo Ancelotti discusses them in his pre-game press conference. But a fantastic result and a fantastic performance. If you see me squinting, it's because I can't see the screen because as you can evidently see, I've forgot my glasses, left them downstairs. So that's why I'm if you see me squinting, that's why. If you're not enjoying, like I said, please do hit the like button. A couple of likes away from 50 now, so if you could, it would mean a great deal to me. Honestly, it means so much. Really do appreciate that. Big thanks to everybody for watching live. Big thanks to everybody for watching. If you're watching as a YouTube video, really do appreciate that. Where are we in the live comments then? Let's try and get involved with them. Deadline day is Monday, I believe. Where are we then? Where are we? I've lost it a little bit. Here we are. Everton Botches says, can Gabaman play in the Allen role since he's expected to be fit this October? Yes, he can play in the Allen role. It's just about getting Gabaman fit and back to match fitness. But that's that type of role that I think Gabaman has been used to playing in previously. James says who? Wayne says either that, Phil, or there's two suspicious red dots on the neck. Philip says, haha, we're me. Everton Bot says, please read this. Dominic Calvert-Lewin Golski, get it sending. Philip says, Dominic Royal. James says, amazing what a good midfield does to that team. You're spot on. Whamey says, that Godfrey could be a good sign and plays left centre-back, but also can play centre defensive midfield or left-back. You're spot on, mate. You're spot on. Everton Bot just says, no fight, no desire from West Ham. Reminds me of Everton last season. Mike says, the Blue Boys Network preview at 7 p.m. He also says, here the Blue Boys loves Cam. Thank you very much, mate. Really appreciate that. Whamey says Cam should jump on their watch along. Listen, I would love to. The thing is with watch alongs is it's just a bit difficult because I'm usually doing other things while covering the match as well. For example, running the Twitter account, and obviously I'm sure you all know we've just bought a little puppy as well. So I'm having to look after her at the moment. But hopefully as time goes on and things start to settle a little bit more and maybe get more people involved with the channel and stuff, then I'll be freed up a little bit and I'll be able to jump on one. Everton Bot says, love the Blue Boys Network. Michael Lee says, Gabaman and Delph are decent replacements if Allen was injured, but there was literally no one to replace James. He's in a league of his own. Johnny says, beautiful time for Everton Football Club. It certainly is, Johnny. You're spot on, by the way, Lee. Completely agree. And you know what? I didn't think I'd do this before the live stream, but I'm going to give a shout out to Fabian Delph because I thought he played really well yesterday. I thought, to be perfectly, to be fair to Fabian Delph, look, he's not a player that everybody particularly loves. He's not a player that's had a fantastic start to his Everton career so far, but Fabian Delph stepped up yesterday and he put in a good performance. Whether you like it or not, he put in a decent performance. He'd done what he was asked to do. He got involved. He was in and around the pitch. He was picking up the ball when he needed to pick it up. And he was solid throughout the entire game, and you can't ask for anything more. Whamey says, because he won't do his own lazy hard just messing, I don't know how you do what you do. Thank you very much, Wormy. I'd love to do watch-alongs, but like I said, you know, I'm trying to keep updated on social media, on the Twitter and stuff with the game, and then watch the game. So my one, and also, not a lot of people know this about me, but I am the shittest, and I will put this on record now, and I will admit it. Jess will vouch for this if she's in the live comments, or if she watches afterwards. Jess will vouch for this. I am the shittest multitasker you have ever seen known to man. Even when I say I'm just going to tweet the live stream out, I completely forget what I'm talking about. I cannot multitask whatsoever. So my watch-alongs will probably end up being me starting a sentence, tweeting out that Calvert-Lewin scored a worldie, and then completely forgetting what I said. Philip says, was just about to say that, join them Cam in a watch-along. Hopefully in the future, mate. Hopefully when things have settled down a little bit more. Mike says, heard Cam is coming on the Blue Boys Network on Monday between 6 and 11 on deadline day. I can't on Monday, unfortunately, mate. Little bit manic on Monday. Obviously, it is deadline day. We've got the review to the game against Brighton as well. He also says again he's coming on Monday between 6 and 11. Unfortunately, I can't on Monday. I will definitely try and get on it soon within the next couple of weeks or so. Obviously, there's a break after the Brighton game, so everything settles down a little bit. But Monday it'll just be a little bit too tight. I do apologize. Listen, I've let people down. I apologise. I hope you still enjoy this team. I hope you still like this team. I hope you still want to get involved. But unfortunately, I won't be able to do Monday. James says nice. Evan Botch says remaining 12 goals for Calvert-Lewin to get 20. Philip says cool, Michael. Yeah, Dominic Calvert-Lewin was set a goal target of scoring 20 goals by Carlo Ancelotti this summer, and he is going to absolutely smash it. Mike says refund. I hope you don't mean that, mate. If you do, I'll do it, but I know you're only messing. Yeah, Calvert-Lewin will smash that goal target. He's already got 8, and we're only about 4 games in, and he's already got 8. He's nearly got half of that goal target already. He will absolutely smash that. Jason says, hopefully with a last-minute deal. Uden says, hi, John and Mike. Wimmy says, hit the like, guys. Cam needs to buy blood. Camula, Philip says, it's the light, mate, honestly. Look, I was going to say I'm not that pale, but I am that pale. I'm proper pale, so I can't even hide it. Everyone's ripping me to bits for me light bulb. It's not my fault. Blame me, Dad. Where are we then? Everton Bot says, want to see Cam's reaction in a watch-along if we're winning or losing. I'm a very emotional man watching Everton Football Club, as I'm sure you can probably tell from the instant match reactions. To be honest, I'm a very, very emotional guy watching Everton. Mike says, Mike has donated another £2 of the live stream. Thank you very much. He says, leaving, it's over, refund. Thank you very much, Mike. Honestly, I really, really do appreciate that. Again, sorry to everybody I've let down that I can't jump on Monday, but I'll definitely sort something out. We'll sort something out in the future, of course. Cam says, why are we getting rid of Moyes? I'd let him go out on loan with no option to buy. It's a difficult one at the moment, mate. It's a difficult situation. Philip says Moyes ain't interested. Everton Botch says 32 players. There you go. Wayne says probably wasn't the best atmosphere at the club last season. Not like Nkunku must think this is brilliant. I'm number 2 and the team is boss. You're spot on, mate. You're spot on. Dan says loving the Tash Cam. I can't wait to smash them in the derby. Thank you very much. Need to shave, to be honest, mate, but just haven't really had the time. Gord says, do I make a bet that if DCL scores on his England debut, I get a tattoo of DCL somewhere on my body? Listen, that's a risky bet, because Dominic Calvert-Lewin, you know, it's very, very likely that Dominic Calvert-Lewin, could score on his England debut because he's on bang on form at the moment, and you know he's fantastic. So it's a risky bet. Wimmy says, did you have the tash when the vampire bit yet? Because now you have it forever. No, you're a campire. Rad says, any news on Richarlison or Alan, lad? Not so far, mate. Not so far. Again, I dare say we'll have an update from Carlo Ancelotti in the pre-game press conference tomorrow before the Brighton game on the injury situation. Scott says, the draw for the quarters after the Liverpool game. That's worth watching. Yes, I will be watching the draw, definitely. Joel says, imagine we go into the international break 7 out of 7, then Dom gets another hat-trick against Wales. Alan and Richarlison come back from injury and we win our next 5 games or so. Mate, my head would well and truly fall off, but it's possible. It is possible. Joel says that the idea, like it certainly is. The True Blue says, hi, this was a brilliant game. What do you think of Calvert-Lewin? I think he's unbelievable, mate. I think he's unbelievable. Philip says that's the title. Wim says, first, I think his name isn't Lewis. Like the title says, he's currently the best player in the league. Certainly the best striker in the league, that's for sure. Philip says Calvert. Two Blue says I know, but I want to hear his thoughts on the goal scored. The goal was unbelievable, mate. All 3 goals were fantastic goals for Dom. Wim says if Dom can add pinging top binners from the edge of the box, he is a little bit special. If he can add pinging top binners from the edge of the box, he is world class, mate. He is one of the best players in world football if he can add that. And I honestly think he can add that because, you know, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, again, coming to Everton as a player that played the most of his career in midfield. And, you know, a lot of people writ him off and said that he wasn't a natural striker and he wasn't good enough to play in that position. And he's proved everyone wrong. If you're not enjoying, by the way, please do hit that like button. It does only take a second if you're new to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe as well. Spudbot says, why has Balassi become a joke? I don't know. He loves the Twitter, doesn't he? I quite like Balassi. I like his work rate, to be honest. I like his attitude. Paul says, we need some luck on our side for the change with the injuries and tonight's draw knocking our luck. City or Liverpool away. He says that it's just been confirmed that fans for the Europa League and Champions League games will have fans in stadiums. I don't know how, to be honest. I just, again, it's another situation which makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Paul says, worry if we have at first quality 11, but if we get injuries, we are short on replacements. Remy says, that's why Godfrey could be good. Him and Holgate play all over the place. You're spot on. Philip says, to be honest, we had players injuring themselves, taking a shower. We have to play our best position. Fair enough. Remy says, nice, Mike. Get Cam on your watch along. Going to be a night game, though. Recently unexpected developments. John and Mike, sorry, not John. Mike says he's always welcome. Thank you very much, mate. Like I said, we will try and make a conscious effort to get on one of the watch-alongs very soon. Oscar says, greetings from the Czech Republic. Thank you very much, mate. Philip says, can you sing though, Mike? Johnny says, any word if James leaving for Colombian international duty? Colombia got some tough games in the World Cup qualifiers. I hope he stays at Everton. I don't know yet, mate. I don't know, to be honest. I haven't heard any news so far, so we'll have to wait and see on that one. When he says, think the Kurt boat has sailed over the edge of the world, never to be seen again. Hopefully, yeah, I think the Kurt boat is well and truly sailed. Big Nozz says, congrats to DCL's England call-up. Shows what a world-class manager and his coaches can do with a squad of players who were going nowhere for last season. Great show, Cam. Thank you very much, mate. 100%. Completely agree with you. Travel says, amazing season so far, but why are we so unlucky with injuries? Never happens to the shower across the park. If I had to choose to have Richarlison or Allen back for the derby, thoughts? I think both are absolutely key players to us, to be honest with you, mate. And I think we could do with having both back for the derby. But it's always been our luck, isn't it? It's to the point where I don't even know whether it's luck anymore, but I don't know what it is. Paul says, all these donations, Mike must be loaded. Mike says, everything man and John's channel and we give it back to the community. Spot on, and we really do appreciate that, Mike. Thank you very much. Honestly, it means a massive amount to me. Abigail says, absolutely, Mike. The smut was up at a while now. Dom is turning into an awesome striker. I always said I believed in him. Well done, Dom. Spot on. Paul says, John Sidibe rant was still a classic. Everyone's having a go at the old skin tone here. Blue Boy says, left back to left forward, watch. Talking about, they say you're talking about Nkunku there. It's a possibility, mate. It's a possibility. His defending was brilliant against West Ham. I completely agree with him. He was fantastic. When he says, sure you're not squinting because of your light bulb is like sun +4. It's bright. It is bright, I'll tell you that. Abigail says, Rodriguez is amazing. John says, he is amazing. You're spot on. John says, we will sign Zaha and a centre-back before the end of the transfer window, I hope. What an end that will be. Big Nozz says, big congrats to Everton ladies getting to the FA Cup final. Yes, a massive congratulations to Everton ladies for reaching the FA Cup final, winning their game 3-0 last night. An absolutely unbelievable performance and an unbelievable result for Everton women. It was a fantastic game. Watch the highlights. It was brilliant, and a big congratulations to everybody involved in Everton ladies, and of course, you know, Willie Kirk and all of the girls for getting to the final. We'll be watching, we'll be wishing them luck, and we're gonna talk more about that in the weekly news roundup video tomorrow. Carlos says, Cam, thank you for your energy and the show. Everyone in Colombia is rooting for the Blues. Have a wonderful season. Thank you very much, mate. Really do appreciate that one. Him says, Cam in the light bulb shop. When says, what you can't do Monday. Mike says 10 minutes is all I need. I'll message you, mate. I'll message you. I'll message you. Big Nozz says, Carlo said Ronaldo scored 56 goals with James behind him. DCL well on for smashing that. You're spot on. The Blue Boys Network says I'm off now, getting my video ready, 7 PM, guys. Thank you very much, Mike. Really do appreciate all of the support, all of the donations, for getting involved. Honestly, mate, it means a massive amount to me. You know it really does. So thank you so much. Really do appreciate that one. Philip says, well done, excellent work from our ladies. Yes, the ladies team are awesome this year. Well done for the ladies. You're spot on, Abigail. Kid says Champions League this season under Carlo. Well, what, Cam? Why not, mate? Why not? Ian says, I hope Spirit of the Blues is top of the charts tomorrow still. Let's hope so. Abigail says, I'd ask Juventus for Douglas Costa on loan and 30 million for Keane. I'd take 15 million now and 15 later. Wimmy says, only messing still here. And Wimmy says, see you later, Mike. Thank you very much, Mike. And thanks to everybody for getting involved. Really do appreciate that. Honestly, the steam has been unbelievable once again today. It means so much to me. A massive win for Everton Football Club last night. Going into, cruising in. Mike says, love you, brother. Love you too, mate. Cruising into the Carabao Cup quarter-final in emphatic fashion with a brilliant 4-1 victory. Yes, the injuries aren't great, and I'm sure we're eagerly awaiting Carlo Ancelotti's announcement in the pre-game press conference tomorrow about updates on those injured, you know, John Joe Kenny, Richarlison, Alan, etc. But it was nevertheless, taking that away, it was a fantastic performance, a fantastic result, and Everton are now into the quarter-final of the Carabao Cup, and hopefully we can keep up this form. Hopefully we can keep it up on Saturday and go into the international break undefeated, 7 out of 7 with 7 wins in emphatic form, obviously leading into the Merseyside derby. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's live stream. If you have enjoyed, please do hit that like button. It does only take a second. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe as well. Once again, a big thank you to everybody for getting involved in the live comments. It means a massive amount to me. If you're watching as a YouTube video, don't forget to leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section down below, and I will get involved with as many of them as possible. Big thanks to everybody for commenting. Big thanks to everybody for watching. Hit over 100 people watching today, which is absolutely mind-blowing. So a massive amount to everybody. Massive thanks to everybody. Sorry. If you have enjoyed, please do hit that like button. We will be back tomorrow, 5:15, with the live game preview to our Premier League fixture against Brighton. And then, of course, we'll have the weekly news roundup video tomorrow. We'll be talking about the Everton ladies team reaching the final of the FA Cup. We'll be talking about the Carabao Cup draw. We'll be talking about Dominic Calvert-Lewin. We'll be talking about all sorts. Ben Godfrey as well. So join us for that one for all of the latest Everton news as well. That'll be just after the game preview. Big thanks for watching. Really do appreciate all of your support. It means a massive amount to me. Eugene says, see you about the Toffees and see you tomorrow at 5:15. Thank you very much, Eugene. See you then. Big thanks for watching. Please do leave a like if you have enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. And we'll see you soon on the Mighty Blues.